The majority of us likely have a short list of important but not urgent goals, such as reading, exercising, and career planning. We know they're good for us, and we know we should be doing them ever so often, but we often encounter difficulties finding the time during the day to do them because other more urgent tasks take precedent, such as a family matter or work deliverable. And so as a result, we unfortunately leave these less urgent but still very important goals on the back burner. These non-urgent, important goals also don't provide much immediate feedback or gratification as their benefits are future dated. As such, starting them and maintaining these activities becomes an incredibly challenging task itself. That being said, your long-term happiness is heavily dependent on you to work on these less urgent but important goals. These activities are what gets your mind out of the daily grind so that you can look at the big picture, where you can decide what type of lifestyle do you want to have, what type of people you want to associate with, and what type of work you should be pursuing. What's up YouTube? Welcome to my channel, Ronald Says. I create videos to share my personal growth journey and capture the most memorable and meaningful moments in my life. Today's episode will be a reflection on why getting up early has fundamentally changed my life for the better. For me, mornings are the best time to work on my own priorities, the important but not urgent tasks. You see, morning time is when you have the most mental stamina after a night's sleep. So take advantage of that because that gets depleted throughout the day, and with that, your ability to self-control. It is much more difficult to resist the temptation of slouching on the couch with a tub of ice cream after a tiresome workday than in the morning when you are alert and well rested. As well, you also likely have an emptier stomach in the morning, and with that, you haven't experienced a sugar spike and your body's digestive system hasn't kicked in and began draining useful energy from other parts of the body, namely your brain. Yes, it's true. Studies have shown that you work better when you're a little bit hungry. The morning also offers an environment with the least amount of distraction as the outside world is largely asleep, there's little activities inside the house, and your phone won't be buzzing with push notifications and email. This will give you the maximum amount of attention span so that you can be creative or be productive to work on those non-urgent but important objectives. Lastly, as the day progresses, it becomes increasingly more difficult to manage your own schedule. You begin ceding control of your time to external commitments or more urgent tasks that require your full and immediate attention. This makes it a strong case for why you should do a lot of your own personal priorities in the morning, and you should never apologize for being selfish with the morning time because you deserve it and you deserve to be in control of your own time. So what if you're not a morning person? I'm going to offer you two solutions. You can either try to become one, or you can attempt to create a morning time environment in other hours of the day. No matter which path you choose, I believe the following tips should benefit you. Start with something simple and small to generate some momentum. Commit yourself to writing that first line of code, putting on those gym shoes, and reading that first page of the novel you've always wanted to read. A daunting challenge becomes much more doable when you break it down into its micro components and work on that first step. Set to accomplish only 1 to 3 priorities at a time, the less the better. Any priority beyond your first 3 ceases to be a priority itself, and because humans have such short attention span, each time when you switch between tasks, you're doing yourself a disservice because you're losing focus. If you still want to accomplish something later on in the day but are already drained by the other commitments that have taken place already, it is important to recharge. Do whatever it takes to get your mental, physical energy back on track. And for me, my favorite is to take a quick walk in the neighborhood. I would really shy away from activities that consumes your energy, such as browsing social media, eating a lot of food, or watching mindless TVs. Plan in advance and prepare your tools. Make it frictionless to start the activity that you've always wanted to start. For example, if you want to build a workout habit in the morning, make sure that you have your gym clothes and water bottle right by your bedside so that when you get up in the morning, there's no reasons and no more excuses for you to say no to working out. Anything that draws attention away from you focusing on your priority should be removed out of sight. Usually, the biggest culprit in our lives is probably our phone, as it's frequently buzzing with push notifications. What you should do in this case is actually create frictions so you make it very hard and very tedious for you to access your phone. Finally, and most importantly, a great morning actually begins the night before. Ensure you get adequate amount of sleep and that you have nothing sitting on your mind by the time you hit the sack. This will allow you the maximum amount of mental stamina so that you can tackle those non-urgent, important things. I hope that you're now inspired to take actions to control your morning so that it can become your non-negotiable, sacred personal time. Having a great start to your morning will inevitably send a ripple effect that is positive to the rest of your day. There are indeed many people that thrive more in the nighttime and dread waking up in the morning. If you're convinced that you're not a morning person, you can still make attempts to enjoy your morning a little bit more by following some of the advice that I mentioned earlier, even just for 15 minutes. How do you make time to work on your non-urgent but important priorities in your life? Got any more tips to share on how to make the morning better or create an environment during other hours of the day that is conducive to being productive or creative? Make sure to leave that all in the comment section below, and I'll be intrigued to learn what everyone else is doing to stay on top of your game. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next episode.